Hello, welcome back to me channel, and today I'm going to be doing something a bit different, as you can see, something a bit out of my comfort zone. But I went to Walmart today, and I was walking through all the aisles, seeing what I wanted, and spotted something that caught my eye. This set right here of beautiful little paints, and it has all these little colors. But today I thought I would do something different and paint, which sounds weird now that I think about it, but we're just here for the vibe, okay? That's all that matters. And so, I have this set. It's called Seaside Marina. So I thought, let's paint a beach. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Does it really matter? So I have my picture pulled up for inspiration. I literally just searched up pretty beach, and I have my cup of water. It's seen some days, has a ink stain, but as long as it works, that's all that matters. So, let's get started. First things first, I've decided to only use the paints within this set. So hopefully that is fine, hopefully that works well. And for me, as you can see, I don't have like a paint palette or anything like that. I usually just throw paint on and kind of like, you know, no technique or anything. So once again, looking at my picture, I'm going to be basing it off of that. So what should I start with? Do people normally start with okay, who cares what people normally start with? I'm going to start with the sky, and the sky has a bunch of little blues at the top, maybe a super small dot of this darker blue. And then towards the bottom, it gets more reddish, like purplish pinkish. Okay. Let me open all these first. What the heck? That was the only one that was closed. Are you serious? Be serious. Okay. What I'm going to start with is the smallest dot of blue at the top to introduce that darker color. Not too much. We just want the smallest amount. Okay. And then we want our other blues on the side, the smallest amount. And then this really pretty light blue, we'll just sprinkle it around. Like so. And then I feel like I should just blend these out. So quickly, we're going to maybe a bit of white at the bottom actually. Okay, now we can blend. I'm scared. I fear the worst, but I hope for the best. I fear the worst, hope for the best. Let's just quickly bring this white color across. And then maybe I should already be adding these other colors to the bottom right here. Like the pinks and the purple and the oranges. So I'm going to put a little dot right here. Little dot, and then another little dot of this pink color. Oh, that was a bit more than a little dot, but it's fine. Happy mistakes or whatever. You already know the drill. Okay. So we're just going to quickly make this undertone. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm literally using an old sheet for this paint, so that nothing gets on my floor, nothing. So ignore that. Pretend it doesn't exist. Okay. So pretty little streaks of color right here, and then I feel I should get rid of this because I don't want to mix these pinks with like the blue. You know what I need? I need a paper towel. Paper towel acquired, and we're just going to use that to get some of this paint off of this paintbrush. Okay, what was I doing? Was I doing something? I'm not so sure. But we're just going to make a few pretty colors and then streaks of light blue starting now. So some streaks of light blue towards the top. We're going to mix that with the white a little bit. And then going up, it'll get slightly darker. This looks like a lot of paint, but it's fine. And then at the very top, the slightest hint of that darker blue. So here, super dark, and then it's going to get lighter as it goes down. Let me get rid of some of that dark before I blend this out. Okay. Let me blend it down like so. Streaks of pretty colors blending beautifully. Okay. Yes. This is perfect. Kind of. Could be better, could be worse. Let me... I feel like we should use a bit more white. Is that crazy? Ooh, that's a bit more than a bit of white, but it's fine. Okay, just some hints of white, and now I don't want to waste all this white, so I'm going to like almost use it for the sand right here. Okay. This will be where the future sand is, and we'll have a little base for that. Base color. Okay. Now, onto... Actually... Yeah, onto the water. We're going to do the water next. And the water has a bit of white, a bit of blue. Basically, some of the same colors we were already using, but in contrast with the sky up here, it's not as... since the bottom of the sky is pink, it won't contrast too badly. And then let's put some white right here. And then I have some extra white on my hands. Some blue, this lighter color blue. Okay. Now we'll blend. Blend like our lives depend on it, because it really doesn't, but you know, for the vibes. We're just gonna make this little wavy horizon. I don't want to go too far to the right because we're gonna have like a little cliff right there, but also we can just paint the cliff on top, so it doesn't matter too much. Right, so here's our little waves, and then towards this bottom part we actually need some more white because the beach has this little, like where the waters hit the shore, it has this like white color, you know? So we're just going to use some white for that. Oops, that might have been too much. Hoping for the best. Like usual, hoping for the best. Okay. So we're just gonna use this white to create this like sea foam effect. Let me just remind y'all, I'm not an expert. I have never claimed to be an expert, and I never will claim to be an expert. So if it looks like trash, it's because it is, okay? It's because it is. Trust. I think we're going to do this cliffside. We don't really have brown though. So I think we're going to mix a few colors. This reddish pink color, and then some of this sand color, or I guess they call it sun-kissed peach right here. We're gonna put this on the bottom, and then we'll use some green to mix with the red-ish color to make it more cliffy. Cliffy, that's not a word. Whatever, it's fine. Is that looking cliffy? I'm not sure. Kinda just looks like mush. Is that fine? I don't know. And then underneath it, it has like that lighter sandy color going down. So I think I'm gonna use some more of that to make that happen. Right here. And it connects up to like the sand. Does that really look like a cliff though? I don't know. Maybe it needs a hint of another color. Like the lightest amount of this red right here would work, I feel. If we can get the smallest little drop. Please. The smallest little dot of this red could perhaps bring some life into this cliffside. Perhaps. Or maybe it'll just do absolutely nothing, and that is fine too, I guess. Okay. It kind of looks cliffy. I mean, would you say that looks cliffy? Yes or no? Be honest. I'm not really sure. I feel like yes, but also maybe no. So who knows? Anyways, now that we're done with that, I guess I would say we're done with that. It looks like a cliff. We can start doing the little sandy part. I feel like I should use a different brush. This one's like hard, so clearly that one's not working very well. But yeah, for this sandy part, we can just use this sandy color. It's already sandy, and then a little bit of white actually, because I feel like it's too sand colored and not enough like not an actual like beach sand color, you know. And then we'll just have that resting on this little area right here. Wavy little sand. The sand, I mean, does sand really have that much texture? Like, yeah, it has texture when you're closer in person, but for here, it's like, it's just sand. Like, come on. We can just smoothly go about our day. And then I realized there's like rails and a pathway, but I'm not sure if I really have enough room for that. So I think I'm just going to do the sand and then do like those like bushes or whatever on top. Okay. I feel like it's missing something. I'm gonna take some of this blue. Is that a bad idea? And then like dot it on the sand. And then wipe that off. And now I'm gonna mix this together a bit. Like add a hint of blue. Might add it some more texture that it needs. Okay. So this is what it's looking like so far. I think it looks pretty good considering. Now I think we're going to start doing some of the greenery. So we do have a few colors for that, like this lime colored and then this greener color, but I think they might be too unnatural of a color. So I might mix a few other things, like the red again. I think that was good. I'm just gonna put some dots of this darker green, a couple of dots, because I feel like I don't want, oops. I was just about to say I don't want the darker green to like overshadow it. But I fear it's too late. I fear maybe I can take some of this off and then use this green towards the bottom and this green towards the top. Okay, so we're just going to mix it out a bit, and then afterwards we're going to add a super small amount of red. I think that's what I call it. I think this red will make it more natural looking. Please give me a small amount. Okay. We have a small amount of red. We're just gonna dot that in to kind of, since red is the complementary color of green, it will kind of like make it a bit more brown. And yeah, brown's not like the most pretty color, but it's more natural for like the plants and stuff to be brownish rather than like perfectly green. So I'm just going to quickly make a bushy type of foreground right here. Little bushes here and there. Okay. That's looking pretty good. That's actually looking really good. This is what it's looking like so far. I'm wondering if I should add, like a closer bush example, but I'm not sure if that will ruin things or not. But let me just see if I get some of this darker green. Can I quickly add a little? This darker green might not be like dark enough. Okay, I realize I'm painting very chaotically and just straight from the bottle, which is not what you should be doing. But it's what I'm doing. And that's all that matters really. Right? So we can add some foreground bushes. I don't know why I'm saying foreground. What does that even mean? I don't know. Is that a painting term? Maybe. Okay, please don't fall out on me. Scary. Okay. That's why you don't do that. Here. Perfect. So we're just adding little details, bit of detail. Make it look like there's actually like real plants growing and not just the vibe of plants, which is fine, but not particularly what I'm looking for. And then okay, I think that's looking really good actually. So we just added a few smaller details in the bushes and stuff to make it look more natural. And while we don't have that little path thing that was coming up from right here, I still think it looks pretty good considering considering I haven't painted it in like so long. I'm not really used to it, so we did what we could. We did what we could with what we had, and this is what we had, so I'm going to let this dry, and when it's finished, I'll show y'all the finished product. I can show you the unfinished product that's going to be drying. Here's the unfinished product. It's looking a bit wet, looking a bit strange, but it still looks good, I think. But yes, we'll be letting this sit to dry for a bit, so. But here it is on this really empty part of my wall. I was trying to find where I could put it, but everything else was already full of stuff, so I'm going to start a new wall, and it's just sitting here all alone, but eventually it will have a bunch of little friends to keep it company. But this is the finished product. It's still a little bit wet in some of the spots right here and right here, but other than that, this is basically done. I think it looks cute. I think it looks pretty. Should I name it? No, that's weird. We're not naming it.